Hey guys, welcome back to the Financial Minute. My name is Josh. As always, it is such a pleasure to have you guys here today. We're going to look at $100,000 houses. Did you know you can buy a house in the US in many different parts of the country for $100,000 or less? We looked at some $50,000 houses in the last video. Now let's take a move up a little bit into the $100,000 price range. See what you can get across the country for $100,000. As always, appreciate you watching. Huge thumbs up really helps out the video, and subscribe. I really appreciate everybody that subscribes. We're up and over 2,000 subscribers now, and I appreciate every one of you. Leave a comment down in the description letting me know what you think. Let me know if you're a regular, if you're here all the time. I really appreciate it. Okay, guys, let's get into it. Where's a good spot for me? I guess I'll try over here. I will point out what stands out to me so you can kind of get an idea what I look for, and maybe you can look for the same stuff yourself. I look for all kinds of different things. It's hard to start where and what. I used to build houses for a living with my father. I bought multiple houses myself. We've sold houses. We have rentals. So I know a thing or two about houses. So I will just point out what I see. I mean, I don't own hundreds of them, but I've definitely seen my fair share of houses. I looked at thousands of them easily over my life. So we'll start out in the southeast here. Again, I set my parameters to 3 bedrooms. Seems how we already did 50K. We'll just do 50 to 100K, and we'll make it 3+ bedroom. I like 3+ bedrooms. We can do 2+. Start here in Florida and work our way up the coast. How about that? Not much as you would suspect in the bottom of Florida. We have one house that pops up here. East of Tampa. So if you're looking to spend less than 100K, Southern Florida is probably not going to give you a whole lot of options. So here's this. This came on the market one day ago. It'll probably sell fast. Seems how it is the only one in that price range. So let's go here. Let's go a little further north to Ocala. So here we go. We have some more. This will include Orlando, Jacksonville. Not much in Orlando, as you can see. I like to look at the location. Of course, you can look over here as we move, but I like to look at the location so you can kind of see where we're looking. Daytona Beach, we have a house there around 100K. Here's a couple more. This actually doesn't look horrible. So if you want to be near Clearwater, St. Pete, of course you're going to be well inland, but it'd be a quick, probably like a 2-hour drive. Not horrible looking, not much to look at for pictures. Lay outside. It's currently for sale, has been listed on Trulia for 82 days. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, small lot, only 6,998 square feet. There you have it. Where is this? 509 West Orange Street for 85,000. They dropped the price on that, by the way. 60,000. This looks like it's probably just a piece of land, but it says it's a house, so let's look at it. It's interesting. Some type of gazebo. Not letting me do anything here. Come on. See if anything stands out to me. The way these videos go, I will look through these houses with y'all live. Let's see. Got yellow caution here. Oh, this is a fire. Yeah, we're not going to look at fire houses because you really got to know what you're doing to buy a firehouse. So we'll leave firehouses. This looks like a decent little house. Let's see what we got here. Picture-wise, they are not showing much, are they? Let's see. Short sale. So short sales are hit or miss. It's a slower process, so if you're in a rush to get in a house, a short sale is probably not the direction you want to go because you're basically the seller, aka the bank. This is an auction, so we're going to skip that one. The seller and the bank are working together to sell the house for less than the owner owes on the house. So everybody has to be on the same page. It's just a slow process, and a lot of times they get canceled altogether. So you might have what you think is a good offer, and the bank, somebody backs out, whether it be the bank or the owner, and therefore it doesn't happen. This house looks like a house and some type of manufactured housing on the property. Definitely not the best pictures. 79,000. Handyman special. 2 homes in need of your special touch. A lot of work, but worth it. Go and see. Okay. So yeah, if you're in the market in South Central Florida, these are what is in the $100,000 price range. This is a 2-story. I like 2 stories. I like brick. 2 stories I just like because you get more square footage, without taking up more of your lot. So especially handy in smaller lots. Branches are nice too on larger lots and smaller lots. Depends on the area, but I like basements, especially when you're buying stuff like this, because you can go underneath the house easily and see what's the matter with it, or hopefully not the matter with it. What else? I do like the fact that this has like people living in it, so it's not abandoned. Built in 1930, that's older than I like. You gotta watch out for aluminum wiring. That's something that's common down south. So you want to keep an eye out for that. The aluminum shrinks with moisture and temperature, and you get fires. That's probably why we see a lot of fire houses for sale down south, because of the aluminum wiring. So, and it's not easy to replace. So if you see aluminum wiring, just know that that's thousands and thousands of dollars to replace, and it really needs to be replaced. Moving north. Now we're looking at White Springs, Jacksonville. I'm not gonna look in there. Look at Jacksonville. See what's around Jacksonville. Some smaller houses. Yeah, see if there's anything. It's a good sized lot. Not much in the Jacksonville area. I mean, there's quite a bit. You're just going to be in smaller houses, 1,000 square foot, 1,100 square foot houses. Next, we got Little St. Simon's Island. Simon's Island. I'm assuming these are all. This is actually a nice looking house listed a day ago. Bank owned foreclosure. This is in Georgia, right? Yep. Hortense, Georgia. Probably mispronounced that. Don't quote me on pronunciation ever, actually. Never quote me on pronunciation. It's just not a good idea. Not a bad looking house for, what is it, 75,000 bank owned. Two-car garage. Foundation, some sort. Crawl space. Now this is interesting. Some type of. Oh, they probably have the the sink hooked up to just a drain, so they're draining looks like that's probably the laundry. I've seen that before. It definitely doesn't pass code everywhere. Probably doesn't even pass code here, but they run the stuff that doesn't necessarily smell funny. They run it out to the yard for gardening purposes. So that's how you save your septic, make it last longer by not running your laundry machine and maybe your kitchen sink into your septic. That's what that is, for sure. You can do that down south a little easier because it doesn't freeze hardly at all. I wouldn't say, I guess, just the aspect of things not freezing very often is a benefit of owning real estate in warmer climates. Don't worry about heating them as much, etc., etc. It's a cool house. It's like it's on a slab. Slab doesn't look too bad, man. So guys, when you have a slab or really any house, if you follow the trim, because the trim is almost always nailed to the wall, so and the wall will stay up even if you have a sagging foundation of any sort, the wall will float usually. Because usually the whole foundation doesn't settle at once, it's just in areas. So the wall will float, so you'll see gaps in uh, along the floor where the trim is. That's a good sign that there's issues with the foundation. And if it's a slab foundation, that's a good sign that you should probably walk away. Unless it's like next to nothing or like really, 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 really cheap for the market. Still maybe worth a look if it's priced really, really, really cheap, but that's why it's priced really, really cheap, most likely. Right. I don't know why that came up, but it did. Moving north, here what do we have? There's a block house. Looks pretty decent for 100 grand even. Not many pictures. Block houses down south are, they're not the prettiest houses in the world, but they do serve a purpose. This old, you don't have to worry about termites. See, down south, termites is a big thing. So if you're doing block, termites don't eat block. So. Insulation is a little harder with block. It's 2 miles from coastal waters. Investor only. Price just right. This property has great bonus, great for your personal touch. Prime location to maximize profit. No HOA property sold as is. Of course. It's on a nice looking piece of land too, half an acre. Although that does look like, is that another house right there? No pictures of the inside, so you really gotta go look at this one. The outside does not look horrible though. There's another one in that same area. Sorry, my mouse does that. It's frustrating. Emu. There's the emu. 5 acres, new 1 day ago. With a new roof. That's obvious. Or the roof has something really bad wrong with it. But we'll just go with it needs a new roof. Which means there's probably damage on the inside. I can't tell much from this one. We could do a road shot, see what Google shows us. See, Google shows us actually a lot more. Look at this. So we can see why the roof was covered. Here we have some old tarp. So it's here in this picture, the old tarp has given away. So it's been covered for a long time. That's not a good sign. What else is not a good sign? It's right on top of this neighbor here. Pretty close. That might be normal for the neighborhood, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. Definitely not a huge lot. And if you notice, all the houses are really tight around here, so that's just the general way these neighborhood was built. So not necessarily the end of the world. It is a brick house we see, so that's a good thing. Let's see any structural issues. There's an old car in the yard, not usually a good sign. There is right here a trash can. So that means somebody was living there when this Google map went through. Let's see. You can view it in Google Maps. Let's see, if this internet were slightly faster, this would work better. Okay, it's not working. So this is viewing it in Google Maps. Covered porch. Just delayed on the, sometimes if you move over, you'll get a different dated map. Not this situation, but sometimes like you move over and you get a different dated map. I don't know why, but sometimes that's true. So you can get multiple dated pictures from back in the day. Helps when you're looking at stuff, trying to scope it out from a distance. Okay, moving north past Savannah, Georgia. Not much in the $100,000 price range in Savannah, Georgia, so that house might be a good deal. Got this house here for $50,000. Looking pretty rough, my friends. Pretty rough. Well, let's scope it out, see what we can tell just by. Yeah, this one. Well, it is brick. So brick's good. I like brick. I'm a big fan of brick. What other? We'll go with the positive. There's not much here in the way of pictures. So looks like a tree probably fell here and here, damaged that. I got a different roof line here. It looks like, hard to tell though. That could be the whole thing collapsing too. This house is in tired shape, I'll be honest. Though the front door looks like it's in pretty good shape. Let's see what they have to say about it. House was damaged by a tree. Enter at your own risk. Yeah, I was gonna say a tree. It must have been a big, so maybe it's one big tree. Let's see what Google Maps shows us. See the tree. No, so the tree fell on it a while back because Google Maps doesn't even show the tree. But Google Maps might show us something here. Nope. Nope, not seeing anything from there either. Another house here. This is interesting. The driveway ends before the road. So it's like there's quite a few potentially abandoned properties around here. So we're just gonna go down a couple block, see what else is around here. And I do this just to give you guys an idea of what you're, just if you see a house you're interested in, peruse the neighborhood. And it would help if I had better internet. There we go. So it actually looks like a pretty good neighborhood. So there's not many houses in that price range. They say you could tear it down and build a new one. I'm not a fan of tearing down existing houses unless you get the property A really cheap, or B or B, the house just needs to be torn down because here we go. It was sold in 2022 for $7,000. That's some type of tax lien, I assume. And now they're trying to pilfer $50,000 out of it. So they only got 7 into it because it doesn't look like they did much to it. So maybe clear out a few trees, but I don't even think they did that. You could probably pick this guy up for less than what they're asking. I'm thinking 25. Tear everything apart. Probably gonna have to gut the whole thing. Maybe not though. It really depends on how leaky that roof is. That would depend. You might just have to do certain parts of the house. Maybe it will be a whole house type situation. This is a nice looking house. So you move inland a little bit away from the coast, and the prices drop drastically. Now there are lots of houses in the $100,000 price range with acreage, mind you. Actually, no, that was an auction. That was an auction. Take it back. There's a Matthews, South Carolina. I like South Carolina myself. And I have a weakness for old, cool-looking houses. I say it is a weakness because they are money pits. Correct, they are money pits. Just know that. I just have a weakness for them. I don't know what it is. This is a cool old house though. Look at that wraparound porch. It's got a roof on it. The roof's tired. Look at those pretty chimneys. Wow, chimneys are actually in pretty good shape too. 3 chimneys. I don't know why the fireplace is a different color brick than the chimney, but interesting. The bones actually look pretty good in this old house. This would be a cool one to restore. It wouldn't be cheap though. So don't kid yourself. This would not be a cheap, easy project. This is a house that would be really cool to fix, would offer a huge before and after opportunity. It would just look amazing. I would get rid of these crappy little windows and replace them with the original size. That's me. If you're gonna do it right. Restore it. This isn't the type of house you just put a band-aid on and rent it out. It's more of a you go through it room by room, restoring it. It doesn't look like it's in half bad shape though. It's a good starting point. Wow. The plaster has seen better days. Look at this. The toilet brush is still in the toilet. There's your crawl space. It's not a basement. It's a pretty deep crawl space though. Wide open though, so animals are into there. Look at that roof, boy. It's seen better days. This house is sorry. It's in need of some help. I almost feel bad for these old houses, because they're a complete money pit, but boy, are they nice when they're restored. Very pretty. It really depends on the area, too. If the comps are good in the area, they'll get restored. If they're not, then they're not going to. 1920 Craftsman home. As the style suggests, it was built to last. Good bones. 12-foot ceilings, 6 fireplaces. She has been around a long time. Oh, if these walls could talk. Awesome potential for those up to the task, and that is the key right here. For those up to the task, because this would be not an easy project. I mean, the house structurally looked pretty okay, but it's just a lot of work. Could be a magnificent magnolia and pecan trees in the front yard. They just don't make houses like this anymore. I walked around underneath just to look at the brick wood, the thick wood in the floors, and some huge timber beams. I love this stuff. Size may be larger than reported. I hope someone comes to save her. Can't wait to see what you do to it. I hope somebody does too, but I don't think it's going to be me, sadly. Yeah, because even if somebody gives you that house for free or next to nothing, 10,000, 20,000 bucks, I mean, they already switched out all the windows for standard ones, which I understand why. It's better than not doing anything with it, but yeah, you would start with a new roof. That's where I would start. Needs a new roof and a good paint job, but a lot of repairs to the siding. You might actually have to re-side it. I don't know. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked with the beautiful old house. Here we go. This one's more realistic. This is a nice house too. Brick. It's not brick. That's actually, or is it brick? No, that is brick. Okay, yeah, brick house. Garage. I like the dormers. They're pretty. They spice it up a lot. Massive overhang. Or is it the picture playing games with my eyes? I don't know. That's weird. I think it is a massive overhang. Yeah, that's a massive overhang. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Inside looks decent. That's interesting. They use some, that's T111 it looks like, to cover the bottom. I bet you had flood damage. Just a solid overall house for how much? Oh, just under 100 grand. Brick fixer-upper in a great neighborhood, established neighborhood of Bamberg. Sorry if I butchered that. Needs someone to love it and bring it back to life. Has great potential. Someone please buy this house and give it life again. There is a paved patio area to enjoy outdoors. I mean, cash and conventional loan only. I mean, I've seen worse, guys. That's a good house, though, because if the seller thinks it's bad, then you think it's bad too. You don't need to tell them that you think it's amazing, right? They think it's bad, you think it's bad. You can get a better price on it. When I think bad, I think more like along the lines of this. That's pretty rough. Or, let's see what else. Half an acre. Well, some type of block. Additional .40 acre lot conveys with purchase. So does that mean it's a whole acre then? Don't know. Pretty wood floors. Need some TLC. Nothing ridiculous. And this one is 72,000. 72,000. What else, guys? What else? 61,000 for this guy. It's a little rougher. It's like not horrible though. I like this because there's rugs. Usually there's hardwood under rugs. Not always. So you want to do your due diligence, as we've always said. Repo, it looks like. Fairly recent pictures. That's good. Outside looks a-okay. Yeah, central air there. A big one. One-story brick, all brick home, 3-bed, 1-bath on .37 acre lot. That's all you need to know. It needs some TLC. This is not a bad looking house. Not brick. Not bad either. It's pretty straight. Got the original hardwood floors. A little rough, but they're resandable easily. Some pretty ugly flooring in the kitchen, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely an ugly kitchen. Those cabinets might be reusable though, to the right person. Let's see. Okay, so you kind of got an idea. This is the, where are we? Goose Creek, Charleston, South Carolina area, and westward. Obviously, not much in the $100,000 price range in South Charleston, South Carolina. Okay, you got Myrtle Beach. Nothing in the $100,000 range along the coast. That's pretty typical. You gotta go inland, guys. You can't buy anything for 100 grand on the ocean. Doesn't exist. This isn't a bad looking house, though. But you kind of get the idea. You can buy these nice brick ranches in different conditions between $50,000 and $100,000, all along the, many places in the U.S. Basically on the east, in the east. If you go west, and if you're willing to mess with older homes, you can get bigger homes, like this guy right here. It's a bigger house, 2-story, much older, 1,800 square feet. This bungalow is also 1,800 square feet. I'm assuming that includes a basement or an upstairs. Again, we're talking older. I like the bricks from the 60s just because you got less issues. Basically, anything built in the 60s is going to have less issues than the older stuff. The wiring is still good. The mechanicals are all still good for the most part. Versus anything older, the mechanicals are questionable. Anything much older, the mechanicals are bad unless they've been updated. 40s and 50s, the mechanicals are sketchy. Anything older, they're very sketchy, or they should just be replaced. It's a nice looking ranch. Okay, so 85 in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Looks like a pretty solid ranch. A bigger one, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Got a little cleaning to be done. Nothing that I'm seeing too out of the ordinary. Walking distance from Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, the centerpiece to a very cute neighborhood. Price to sell. Submit your offers while you can. Street view. See, now that is a very solid looking ranch. This is kind of what I like. You got a nice. This is a little different. Not sure. That's like a carport, it looks like. Oh, that's kind of cool. This is a little different. It's got a carport there, which is nice. Instead of a garage. It's got a nice little porch. Nice roof lines. Just a nice house overall. Looks like it's on a nice lot too, which is nice. Actually, let's go back here. Yeah, it's a nice lot too. Got a driveway. Oh, look at that. It's a drive-through driveway. Cool. Yeah, and it's got the little overhang that you drive right through. That is just cool. I would personally add more driveway around that so you can get people around without going through the drive port. That's just me though. But it is a nice looking neighborhood, not gonna lie. You can get it pretty. I mean, 85 was listed 23 hours ago. My guess is that's gonna go for more than they're asking. That's just a guess. I don't know the neighborhood that well, so. It's a nice, clean looking ranch. Brick all around, looks like. Another thing to pay attention to, guys, paved driveways are priceless because it costs a lot to do this. Like to pave this driveway, let's see if we can see how long this driveway is. And that's not even pavement, that's even better. That's concrete. Looks like somebody cleaned it up a bit since this was last taken. See, but if you looked at this house, you might not even notice that. But that cleans up nicely. And to redo this concrete, which is in decent condition, looked in better condition in the other picture. So this looks like a more recent picture. Yeah, it's in pretty decent condition. To do that is at least like 5-10 grand. So, and then you got a sidewalk. That's like a lot of money's worth of concrete, especially nowadays. And you won't get that money back if you buy a house without that. It's not worth doing it usually. You should just use gravel. But if it comes with it, I see it as a pretty big perk. Outside city limits, so no city taxes. 3-bed, 2-bath home needs a little TLC, but could be a great investment. Properties being sold as is. Crawl space. Pretty straight looking house, actually. Looks like a pretty decent roof on it, too. We have some inside pictures, it looks like. But you can pick this up for $99,500. It looks super solid. Little bay window there. Nice, had good windows, good roof. I mean, the inside don't look horrible. Good basic little kitchen. Honestly, some of those rugs look like they just need to be vacuumed. That's a nice little house. I would scoop that up. Now we're out near the ocean, so as you would expect the houses are. If you can get them under 100, they're going to be rougher. It's not horrible though. It's not a brick. Inside, we got pictures of the inside. It doesn't look horrible. Needs a roof. or at least a patch, probably just a whole roof. Yeah, that deck might actually clean up nicely, maybe. This is not far from the ocean, people. Let's look at the foreclosure guidelines here in North Carolina. Understand what a foreclosure is. There's a mortgage lender. We got pre-foreclosure, short sale, auction, bank owned. If no one buys the house at auction, ownership reverts to the mortgage lender and the lender resells it. This is when most buyers figuring out how to buy a foreclosed home for the first time are in the best position to buy it, because the process is more like a traditional home buying experience, though it does still have its quirks. We'll walk you through them. You gotta buy it as is, obviously. Flexible timeline is a huge help. The process of buying a foreclosure is much less predictable than a regular home market. A regular seller is typically motivated to sell quickly because they want to move on with their lives. A mortgage lender isn't often so motivated. As a business, you have a bunch of priorities, and moving the sale of foreclosure along is just one of them. You need a pre-approval letter. Be willing to walk away. So the bank bought it for $114,500. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have some very close to waterfront property on the Atlantic Ocean, mind you. For under 100 grand, you can be the proud owner of. Let me look at it. This computer would cooperate. Obviously, is questionable. Right here, this house. You are very close to water here. Looks like you're on the water pretty much. There it is. This house needs some work. Definitely not for the weak of heart. Beautiful though. So beautiful. Let's see if we can walk this one via Google Maps. Cause look at this. These pictures don't tell much. Okay, so there's the house. I guess the water is over here. There's the water. Oh yeah. We do have some industry. It's like train tracks. We got that. And you got some water there. Here's another one. Close to the water. Let's do a road map walk here. We are not on the water on this one. The other one actually had a view of the water. This one not so much. Not far from the water though. This house has some frontage on the water. And this house actually looks halfway decent. Oh, the inside is gutted. It's interesting how you don't. It's a very weird piece of land. You don't own this. Huh. This house owns this. Interesting. You own some frontage on this little channel thingy here, though. the abandoned house next to it gets the nice piece of land. Interesting. It is gutted though, so there's that. Okay, well, guys, let's move further north here. Chesapeake area, Virginia Beach. What else around here? Surrey. I'm not even gonna try pronouncing that. Disputenta. Nice ranch in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. Moving north a little bit. Let's see. The channel here. $65,000. Here's a nice house out near Chesapeake. Nice piece of land too. 1920, older house, so FYI. As is, of course. Wow, there's a really big one. Big old house. Delaware. There's something really old. That's New Jersey. A fixer-upper in Trenton, New Jersey. Probably not going to be much in New York City. In the $100,000 range. Oof, yeah, that's pretty rough too. I mean, well, that's what $100,000 will get you in Connecticut. Something along that line. This is the kind of thing you would tear down. But a lot of times in these little towns, you can't tear this house down because the town won't let you rebuild. They want you to use the exact structure that's there or build on the existing foundation. So it's a lot of times worth maybe doing a heavy demo, getting down to the bones and redoing the house rather than, to make it worth something. If it's a good location. If it's not a good location, then it'll just get torn down and be empty. And not much in the New England area, if we're honest. It's just not where you go to buy cheap housing. Well, we've seen the New England area. Let's move a little west. We've seen the East Coast, basically. We can take a quick glance at New York. New York, the taxes are so high. So even though you get a good price maybe on some upstate New York housing, the property taxes are going to kill you. We'll take a quick glance at some properties. Give you an idea what you get for 100 grand in upstate New York. Obviously in New York City you get nothing. But you get some stuff in western New York, mostly. Not even really upstate New York. 6 acres. It's actually not a bad deal. Just to see what the tax bill on this house is, just to get an idea. This is in New York, upstate New York. So somebody gutted it, it looks like, of copper. Lovely. We got Pennsylvania. Usually there's a lot of cheap stuff in Pennsylvania. This guy right here, nice 2-story older brick. Look at that beautiful staircase. It's move-in ready pretty much. Needs a new roof maybe. In Pennsylvania, get a lot of houses like this in Pennsylvania. These two-story, what do they call these? Kind of like a reverse colonial. But see, it's a nice home on double lot. $80,000, and they dropped the price because stuff out in the middle of nowhere just doesn't sell. So if you're gonna buy a house, a cheaper house, or any house for that matter, try to stay near society unless you really do intend to stay there a long time, or you have a good, there's like a really popular attraction nearby or whatever. It's gonna be an Airbnb to that attraction. But just buying houses in the middle of nowhere, I mean, like I said, you can do it nowadays. A lot of people work from remote, so it can be done. Just don't plan on getting any appreciation in value because you probably won't. Very little, if any. But you go near cities. People like to live outside the cities. Nobody wants to live. I shouldn't say nobody, but a lot of people don't want to live in the cities, so they buy outside the city. That's why there's not much affordable stuff outside the cities because the prices are higher. Appreciation, people. Cities in inner cities don't appreciate, in the middle of nowhere doesn't appreciate. The suburbs appreciate, and certain parts of downtown appreciate. But inner city is very hit or miss on appreciation. It goes street by street in most cities that I'm aware of. One street could be worth a lot, next street could be worth not much at all. Same house could be on one street and it's 2 blocks over. One street is worth 100,000, next 2 streets over it's worth 250,000. That happens a lot in cities, so you got to know this when you're buying real estate in cities. Not so much out in the suburbs and out in the country. Here we have some Ohio addresses. I saw a nice brick house in Mansfield. 69.9. Dropped the price from 75, so it's not moving. It's been on the market. Let's see. Oh, not too long. They put it on the market in February. They dropped the price at the end of February. So they're trying to move it. It does have a basement. Probably make a good rental. Again, do your due diligence because it doesn't always mean it will make a good rental. This is a nice 3-story. You got the 2-story with the potential for a 3rd story in the attic. And does it have a basement? It might even have a basement. Yeah, see, tall ceilings too on the 3rd story. Not many pictures though. I kind of like this style house. A lot of usable space. It does have a basement, so this is technically a 4-story house with a 2-car garage. All it needs is you. In Marion, Ohio. We'll go up to Michigan, Detroit. You see a lot of cheap stuff around here, but prices have come up. That's pretty cheap. You got 2 houses on land for there. That's not a bad looking house. Some work. Nothing horrible. It has a basement. Sold for, so the bank must have bought it for 114. Now they're selling it for 94. It's in Monroe, Michigan. So a little further west. Omaha, Nebraska. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really like looking at houses myself, so I hope you do too. If you watch this much of this video, you probably do like looking at houses under $100,000. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, only you can make your financial dreams come true. Don't delay. Get started today. Go out and buy yourself a house. You don't have to spend 100 grand. Spend less. Doesn't even have to be where you live. There's so many ways to do it. Do your due diligence. reach out via message below. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns. What do you want to look at next? Do you want to look at houses that are older, newer, bigger, smaller, more land, less land? Let me know in the comments below. Be safe. God bless, guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye.